Welcome to the Business Spotlight. I am Rick Plaskett, a certified and leadership coach here in Columbus, Ohio. Today, my guest is Khaled Saleh. He is the owner and founder of Fazeal. Fazeal is an interactive virtual community. I'll let him explain a little bit further detail about all of the great, wonderful things that Fazeal can do. But today we're going to talk to him about his business challenges, the best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe so you can get further notifications. Khaled, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks for having me.
Super. Hey, let's start off with just a brief overview of your journey on how did you create Fazeal and what you're doing with it in your vision, as well as giving us a little bit of idea about what Fazeal really is.
Yes, thank you, Rick. So Fazeal basically started when I tried to find, an idea, a good, solution that could help people. Right, 5 years ago when I started building Fazeal, social media was much cleaner at that time where we didn't have as much heavy ads. It didn't have, a lot of fake news. It didn't have a lot of AI integrated stuff that, people can waste a lot of time watching this content or seeing this content. I've seen a big increase in the search on the search engines for a family app or a family application, if you would. People are focusing to find something they can share with their families, with themselves, with their kids, with their loved ones, with their significant others that specifically clean as a content and at the same time useful for them for day-to-day activities, where it's they like the social media, they like what it brings, but at the same time they have more control over it. It's not like it's controlled by whoever on this site and their vision. It's about them rather than about the actual idea of the application. So I start looking into this, and that's when I decided to come up with the idea of Fazil, which stands for Family Zeal. Fazeal, in short, Rick, is a social media, but it's not just a social media. It's a platform for the people, and it focuses on making you active within your own small circle. Even you can create a private group that no one can join unless you send them a key, and with that key they can find you and they can enter and join your group, and then they can communicate with you, and they can share content with you. And the other part, where we call it semi-public level 1 and semi-public level 2 groups. Semi-public level 1 is a group that you need to answer questions in order from you to join. It's public, it's searchable. You can search for that group, but in order from you to join it, you need to have some sort of invite. You need to mention who invite you. You need to say to answer the questions. This is mostly for groups that have people with a certain interests, that only want to vet in specific people into that group. And the part two of a public group, which is a group that you can submit a request to. It's public, it's searchable, but you need approval from the admin or moderator of that group. And there is the fourth part of group, which is the full public group, which is a group that you can search and you can join. Now, interactions within Fazil um, is, um, is three levels. You have interactions at the group level. We call them boasts, where you can boast into specific groups or specific people. So only specific people can see those posts. You can choose who can see it and when. And the other part is, um, we call it the sketches, which is a media interaction. The sketch is a small video that you can share, like you see the contents right now, see in reel or shorts. Similarly, people can create their own videos and share it, and this shared publicly, so it can be public, open to everyone. You still can share videos at the private level, if you would, through the posts, but if you want to share a video publicly, you can share it through specifically the sketches. And we have something called chirps, which is a post, but it's public, where you can, you know, put posts out there You can mention people on it. You can tag people. You can put a hashtag into it. You can do whatever you want, but it's public. Ideally, each one of us will have a public dashboard and a private dashboard. The private dashboard, Rick, is specifically about you. You can put in it. It has a calendar where you can see your calendar. You can have your own events. You can have reminders in it. You can have photos, videos, your own photos and videos. You can save them within albums. It's called an album service. This is about you. You can put everything in there. You can share it to whoever you like. You can share, you can share the votes, sorry, the notes. You can share um, the uh, 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 the events. If you have an event, a birthday party, if you have a wedding, whatever, you can share it with people through that, and you can invite them. You can see them who accepted, who declined, and you can share, day-to-day meetings. You have a meeting for a doctor for your child, you share it with your wife or your significant other to, to show, so both on the same line as far as the family planning when it comes to that. Now, when we go to the groups can do interactions. So the interactions at the group level is a post as number one. You can praise someone. You can put a voting on the group within the group. You can vote on something, and you can create a discussion. Those are the four main things you can do at the group level. So if you see this whole thing that exists, it's kind of covering everything from a Fazeal internal perspective. We added also the news at the country level, just to add more into that, where you can see the your news. Now, within Fazeal, when it comes to those interactions, there is the other part, which is the public dashboard. The public dashboard, you can put in there about your name. It has your name. It will be fazeal.com/user profile/Rick. Then people can see your page. You can put your social media, whatever links in there. You can put some brief information about you, whatever shared public as far as the sketches, whatever is shared publicly as far as the chirps, whatever photos you want to share publicly to the people. Um, so this is kind of a nutshell Fazeal, and Fazeal at the country level. So once you come from America, you will see the content of America, and we are focusing on putting there a clean content because it has a very strong parental control, and parents can control what their kids and what their children, or if we say um, their guardians their guardians. This is the term we use, the guardian, because sometimes it's not a child. It could be someone you care for, and it's a
Mhm.
guardian. So the guardian can see the history, can see everything that minors under their name exist, and they can control content. They can see to make sure it's a clean and it's more protected when it comes to children. So this is Fazil Social. The other part is the Fazil Business, Rick. Fazil Business is empowering small businesses. How we do that? If you noticed in COVID, mom and pops stores, we've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of those stores go down. It was very challenging for them. And the reason why, because their main dependency was on the foot traffic. Their focus on people walking into their stores. And with COVID on, people couldn't do that. They were forced to stay homes. And this is one scenario that could happen again. And other scenarios is people stopped using those stores as much because of the convenience. There is a lot of convenience for people to grab their phone and look into their phone and shop online or order food online or do things online. With all this being in place, um, you know, we thought about bringing the idea of allowing small businesses, empowering them to create websites that doesn't acquire any knowledge from them. It takes approximately 3 hours. You can just configure it. We made it simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, and we allowed those people, and we tested it. We tested it with younger kids, like fifth grader was able to create a store. Someone doesn't have any technology experience was able to create a full store. All you need to do to understand how you can add your categories, how you can add your products, how you set it up, and we walk you through the setup, and boom, you have a point of sale, full point of sale, and you have a website that have full capabilities of e-commerce. Now we started with retail. We are going to do the restaurants. We're going to do the other types of businesses as well. There is six types we are targeting, but we have completed retail. It has been a very challenging 5 years to come up with all these features and make it available in simple buttons, clicks, where people can just take advantage of that. Um, it's it's uh right now we launched the social. We launched the Fazeal business now in its production testing. We have made a good integration with one of the American companies in payment processing, Phoenix. It's wonderful company. We made a contract with them. They will be our payment gateway, because the money will not come to us as a payment. We want the money to goes to your account. So how that works, the money will not come to us and come to you. Once you get onboarded to Fazeal, we will onboard you to Phoenix, and then the checkout experience happens through Fazeal, but through Phoenix. We are the interface technology, but all the integrations will be with Phoenix. It's a payment gateway supported by American Express and Visa. They are the investors in this payment gateway, and they are willing to work us to help small businesses getting very good rates on payment processing. So we got a good rate. We are going to help small businesses using that to expand their operations, and it help them find that convenience for their customers within the community, so they can get their business back, and at the same time help people to use that convenience operations to support small businesses. This is kind of in a general what Fazil is all about for now. Yeah, Rick.
Khalid, I hear the passion in your voice as you describe all of the different complexities of this community and the value of it being that I, as the user, have the control as opposed to the big brother out there that has set it up. It's fabulous. So, to set the stage for the viewers, what does your current ownership structure look like? In other words, are you funding this and driving it and developing it yourself? Do you have a small team, or are there outside investors helping you to give birth to this company and put it out into the world?
That's a good question, Rick. Actually, when I first started this, I started it myself. I started the idea, and I built a team. I started my team, from newly graduates or people who doesn't have experience. I brought them on board because I never thought Fazil will get that far, because it's a small idea that we wanted to grow, and I kept on growing. So
Mhm.
I said, since I'm doing this, I want to bring people that also can benefit. Meaning, I wanted also others to benefit. So I brought newly graduates people. I sat with them and I helped them. I supported them. And then I grow the team throughout a couple of years, where we bring newly graduates, train them, give them the experience, and let them work and build this so they can have something, they can be proud about in their resume. And a good project that's out there that I worked on this, and it has been the reason of my drive. So I started a small business, and with a small operations we grow a little bit throughout some time, because I needed to expand the operation because of the amount to and level of extensive work needed to achieve this. And we have been through loops in throughout the past 5 years. I did not have any investors. I did not have anybody sponsor this initiative. I'm the only one who's running this, and I'm the only one who's sponsoring this financially. Now, in the past year, I had to downsize because of the financial situations. The work is not doing the same, so financially, things has been really bad. If I would, but I still have 3 or 4 team members that still works with me. I'm doing everything myself. I'm still doing everything myself. But I do have some, small team of people that have the same drive, the same passion I have. They want to do something that's meaningful. They want to do something that have a bigger vision behind it, and they believed in my vision, and they believed in what I want to achieve. So they sticked around with me. They never banned the idea. They sat there and they supported. They stood up next to me. They're living the struggle. They still have families and kids, but they are struggling with me,
Hmm.
regardless, because they want this to live.
Right.
Not like I didn't want to go places. I did go to, a lot of, small business administration, SBA. I did go to entrepreneurs, venues here in Columbus, Venture One, and I went to multiple ones, try to seek, help and funding, because the idea is about to be born. It's ready, and
Hmm.
I was willing to show them, demos, and I've done that. I tried to show. I've spent hours showing, but again, it's all about. It takes a little bit of, you know, uh, you know, people want to take a risk, I guess. But
Right.
to be honest with you, so far I've been just running this myself, and I'm trying to, drive it to the point where it's live and in the access of the people. Hopefully,
Super.
we'll get that.
Yeah. So, Khalid, as you are wearing all of these different hats as the solopreneur right now, the developer, how would you break down your time and your resource investment between the everyday development and the nuts and bolts of getting the bugs worked out so that you can launch versus the strategic and the planning and the visioning of getting to the company that you shared with us just a minute or two ago?
Right. So that's a very good question. It's actually important to know how to manage the time, and managing time is the key. I only have 24 hours a day. I need 7 to 8 minutes sleep. Unfortunately, I don't get 7 or 8 or hours of sleep. I said minutes, I'm sorry, but it takes, I need 7 to 8 hours a day of sleep from the 24 hours, but I couldn't get that. I take five, maybe six if I am lucky. Now, how my day start? My day starts around 9 every day, 8:30 sometimes, sometimes 8 if I need to wake up earlier. And I start working with the team. I have a planning. I start the first 3 to 4 hours on working on the things on my plate, as far as development tasks, as far as
Mhm.
infrastructure tasks, as far as networking tasks, and I get through my daily meetings, as well. If there's integration meetings, for example, we are trying to integrate with the Star printers. So the point of sale, can people print using the Star printers for point of sale? So I had meetings with them. They were very supportive. We integrated with their printers, but we needed throughout the time, we needed to integrate with their, platforms. So that's coming also in the pipeline. Phoenix is the same thing. I have also integrations with, the domain company, where people can buy the domain through them. All these things I get through meetings, we plan, and then I get with my team members to bypass their issues. Any bugs, any challenges, any requirement challenges, any clarifications or requirements, because I draft the requirements myself. So I do that all the way until 12:45. At 12:45, we have a meeting. That meeting we go through what we have achieved today. So we do a status update where we talk about all the JIRAs or the workflow that was on each of us bucket, and then we start talking about demo some of these things as well to show the progress. And after we do that meeting, once we are done, if there is any sidebar conversations, I take those meetings. So they usually take up to 3:30. After 3:30, I take a break if I could. And then I jump into the other part of my day, which is refining requirements. So I sit with myself and I put down the requirements and I start typing those requirements, building the technical design, building the macro architecture design, the flow, how things need to be on the Confluence, and publish it so the team can be ready. And after I'm done with that, it takes like 3 to 4 hours. I get in another call with my Scrum master and solution delivery partner. in the team. So we discuss how we are going to chop those requirements into smaller chunks and who's going to be in charge of working on them from the team. So once we do that, we build the JIRAs. The Scrum Master takes these requirements, build the JIRAs, and then the next day they will have a meeting with them in the morning, and they start at 7, 6 o'clock, whatever they want. But we have flexibility there. But what they do, they start with meetings, daily meetings in the morning, talking about the requirements, what they need to accomplish, and once they clarify everything, they jump on it and they complete it. Um, for my day, after I finish that meeting, I go back and I start working on research because I have a lot of research work. I'm interested in the cybersecurity and artificial intelligence area. So I work a little bit, like 4 to 5 hours in research. And once I finish that around 12 a.m., sometimes if I have another gig on the side that I do just to bring extra income, I do that. Or I I continue. If I don't, I continue from 4 to 3 or 4 a.m. working on other things on the infrastructure, stabilizing prod, building production, building servers, setting up environments, fixing prod issues, fixing lower environment issues when it comes to infrastructure. So my team, when they come the next day, they don't have any blockers. They can just get on it and start working. This is pretty much my life cycle, 7 days a week.
That is a full day, I can tell you. And you've done such a wonderful job of describing where you are right now and sharing your vision of where this business is going to go. I'm curious, let's drill down just a little bit. The question is, what's your approach to goal setting? And specifically, how many goals do you set at one time? And what's the time frame for those goal accomplishments?
To increase the velocity and the accomplished work throughout my time, I definitely have my goals is different a little bit in structure. I structure my goals on daily goals,
Mhm.
and then I have weekly goals, and I have monthly goals. And this is how I taught my team. This is how we are going to work. Okay, so in the day, I need to achieve this. If I plan that this is my achievement today, there is nothing else need to be done. This need to be accomplished, and there is no to it unless there is a big thing that happened that stopped that from happening. So yes, this is my daily accomplishment, and it all adds up to achieve something at the week level. So the week goal will be a combined goal of all the work from X amount of people for these days. So I split it as a goal one, goal two, day by day, and then weekly goal. This week we need to achieve this. And then the other approach is at the month level, which is within this month, this is the feature we need to build, or this is the sum of features that has to be completed. So the summation or the aggregation of the work that's done each week of that month will at the end will aggregate into that monthly accomplishment. Um, and that monthly accomplishment, if you would, it adds up together to make the yearly accomplishment. So, for example, my goal for this year is to launch Fazeal business, try to finish the business retail completely, make it settled, have live customers on production, which is we already have one right now, and bring that up into increase the level of customers. Hopefully, we are trying to get up to 500 businesses on Fazeal platform. We are going to use vetting process. Not everybody can sign up. People need to submit a request for invitation key in order from them to be able to sign up, because we want to make sure we bring the right people to the platform at this time. We're focusing on small businesses because the infrastructure expansion, with the small businesses, as infrastructure is less, but it's going to grow while they grow. And hopefully when we grow also, we will grow our infrastructure to bring more, businesses. So this is yearly goal, and I have a 5 years goal, and I have 10 years goal. This is very passionate. It's very extreme, kind of. I want to do it, but if I accomplish 50 or 60 or 70, it's kind of good to achieve at the year level and at the 10 years level. But I do to the granular level of the day or even hours at some point, Rick, because this is something I have to do. And all the work that I have accomplished in the 5 years delivered to us Fazeal Social with all these rich features, and it delivered to us Fazeal Business with all these rich features. Simplicity of UI, this complexity, making it simple for people to interact with each other. So this is kind of my goal strategy, Rick.
So let me ask you a question a little deeper on the word goal, because everything that you have shared with me, and let me share with you, my personal coach that helps me with my business, and I've had several over the years, made a definition of goal and said you use the word goal too loosely. If you set a goal and you know how to achieve it, you know everything there is, it's simply a focus on that and a commitment to that goal, then that's not really a goal. They define that is a result that you want to achieve. Simply put it on your to-do list, on your calendar, and get it done. My coach challenged me that said, when I use the word goal, there should be a piece of that I need to learn, that I need to stretch, that I need to grow in order to achieve that goal. So if there was a piece that I need to learn, I don't know how to get there, I need to go find it out, then they said I'm allowed to use the word goal and still work toward that. And maybe that's not on the to-do list. That is a true goal of, specific, measurable, time sensitive, and is it achievable? Not the word realistic, but achievable. But somewhere in there, I had to grow as a person in order to be able to check that goal off. So that's become my interpretation and my definition of the word goal. I'm curious about your definition of the word goal.
Thank you, Rick. Yes, so it is my definition for the goal, what I have explained to you, actually. The reason why, because Fazeal as a whole is a challenge. Each simple thing in Fazeal is something I never done, nor my team have ever done. We don't know how to do any of these things. We don't know how to build these features. We don't know how to, you know, how the structure is going to be. That's why it's a goal. For example, like there's one example for a challenge. Right now, when a domain registered on Fazeal platform, for example, www.rick.com, and this should hit your store, Rick store, for example, in Fazeal. How we can make this happen, how we can integrate this domain into our environment, and how we can make the call from Rick.com redirected into us. This we have never done. Me building servers at the network level, I have never done. Me building infrastructure from a DevOps perspective, I have never done. Everything I am mentioning right now, from building this application from the granular level all the way to the big picture of this platform, is not something we know about. And if you remember in early of my meeting with you, I told you that everybody joined Fazeal is a newbie, newly graduate.
Mm-hmm.
No one of them have experience. So for all of us, it is a goal because we are trying to learn it, discover it, find it out, and scratches off from our day-to-day tasks. So this is exactly the definition of goal that you are believing in, and it's exactly the definition of goal I believe in. But for me, it's a little bit more tight with the timeline because we want to get this product to the people. We want to make something, that makes a difference, hoping that it makes the difference. So I believe in my team and my team believes in me. That's why we were able to accomplish this much in this short amount of time. And short amount of time, Rick, I'm talking about 5 years. We started this in 2020 and we are in 2025, 5 years of development, day to day, like this working. We had at some point we had to go and scratch everything because the infrastructure wasn't right and rebuild it. Um, it doesn't, some people would have given up long time ago if it wasn't if it wasn't me or my team. I believe that this idea, taking this to this level, would have not been there if so someone else would have given up on it long time ago. All the challenges we have run into, from telling investors about our products and throw us off and everything I've been telling people about, and they're comparing me to these big platforms that have massive amount of developers that are building like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are not this, but we managed to build Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we managed to build WhatsApp, a chat application, and they're all published on the Apple Store and on the Android Store. We managed to build a concept, Fazeal business, uh, that exists. It's not a brand new and unique idea. It's an idea that we are trying to give to the people in an easier way. So we know what people did. We try to clean it, make it better for them, and we brought it to them. This is the idea. It's not like our platforms doesn't have bugs. They have. That's why we work too hard to make it more stable, to make it better every day for the people to have a good experience with it. But yeah, this is in short what the definition of goal to me, and hopefully it lines up with your definition to the goal.
It did, and I knew that. I wanted to bring you out and share with the audience that yes, this is your definition of a goal. And isn't it wonderful all of the things that you've had to learn to bring your idea and your vision into actuality in a very short period of time. And I appreciate you for sharing your story and sharing the passion that you have for getting this thing up, running, and successful. And, listen, we have certainly covered a lot of ground in our conversation today. And for those of you that are watching, I highly encourage you to save this series and go back a few times because Khalid has definitely shared a lot of great nuggets. So, as we begin to wrap up, I've got a section here that I call a rapid fire section. It's just 3, 4 questions. Just want what's on top of your mind. Are you ready for this?
I hope so, Rick. Go ahead. This
Super.
is
They're
exciting.
easy. I promised you there was not going to be any pain in this at all. Okay. Khalid, what is the key to success?
Believe in yourself.
Fabulous. What's one piece of advice that you would give to another business owner?
I advise them not to give up. If you have a good idea, never give up. Follow your
Wonderful.
dream.
What's a book that you're reading or that has really inspired you that you would share with the audience?
To be honest with you, I haven't gotten a chance to sit and read a book, but I have sat and read a lot about AI and artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. And most of my reading have been about newly research, and it's massive. How people you know can think, and it's massive how to project the future with the AI. Now,
Mm-hmm.
with AI, it brings benefits, but at the same time, everything has an advantage and disadvantage. So I'm looking into the security concept of it and how we can secure our systems, our IoT devices like phones, watches, your car
Mm-hmm.
now, everything is connected, right? So believe it or not, this AI can learn how to build viruses and how to build Trojans and how to build a massive attacks. And if they do, they can produce massive viruses that can attack and it can be unstoppable. And to be honest with you, people can build their own GPT. They call it their own GPT, which is a chat GPT, but it's private where you can teach it
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want it to learn. And if you teach it how to build viruses and learn how those viruses are built, then it's going to do that for you. So
Wow.
yeah, it's so I'm building a research right now on how we could stop this from happening, how we could, you know, make the AI more knowledgeable to the point where it will project if someone a AI delivered virus comes into the play,
Right.
how the AI will understand it, classify it as a Trojan or a malware or whatever, and spit it out and stop it from happening. also how we can make those GPTs more secured in a way where it stop you from stopping not you stopping the person who's trying to create vulnerabilities or create attacks or harmful software from doing that. So it's pretty challenge. This is a concept that when people came up with the AI, they probably didn't pay attention to, but it's there, and people will find a way to get it. And if we forecast it and understand and find it, then we'll be able to, you know, get it before it happened. Sorry
Right.
for, this is not short, this is long, but sorry.
I understand. So listen, before we get to the last question of the day, if people want to get in touch with you or want to learn more about Fazeal, what's the best way for them to contact you?
My email, it's
Okay.
Khaled.saleh@fazeal.com. This is my direct email.
Fabulous. Fabulous. So here's the last question of the day. What do you find most inspiring to you?
Uh, People themselves, to be honest with you. Because if you read the history, um, people have been doing all these great things. Look at America, how it was built. Like, look how it was built with a vision of great people and the vision of people who actually wanted to make a change. That inspires me because I want to make a change.
Fabulous, fabulous. So, Khalid, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey. And thank you to the audience for watching. I'm sure that you have been inspired. I know I have. I can't wait to see the full fruition of Fazeal and the
Thank you.
impact it will have on the ability to have control over what you do in a virtual community. So, listen, folks, make it a great day and bye for now.
Thank you.